Here is our cycle, plan, do, study, act. And I'm just going to explain how it works. The first thing to note is that you never start with plan. You start with study zero. And you're going to hear me refer to study zero and study one in a moment. And there is a reason for me explaining it in this way. And so it hopefully will hold together. After study zero, where we've been out and we've understood the environment we're in, we then form initial hypotheses or theories. What are we trying to accomplish and how we know that any change is an improvement? We then can go into plan. We can select the priorities of the things we want to test. We can agree the actions we got. We can put an action plan in place for those actions. We can then do something. We can either do whatever it is we're going to do, or we can run some little tests. Well, whatever happens when we've executed the plan, we must collect some data. And that data then is subjected to our second study number one in this case. And this is where we compare our actual with prediction. What does it say about our theory? Is it right or is it wrong? And then that gives rise to our act number two, which is the basis for informed theories, more informed theories. Do we adopt our theory? Do we adapt it? Do we abandon it? Now, pretty much everyone who works with us will know that that's the model. What I'm going to do now, though, is I'm just going to give you a quick operational definition of study zero and then study one, because they are different. And I'll explain why as we go through. But let's have a look at the definition of study zero. Study zero is the deliberate examination of the current situation to understand what is happening now before we make any predictions, so that we can form an initial theory about the system, the process, or the problem. And I'm going to identify that as being inductive reasoning. Now, hold on to that thought about it being inductive reasoning, but also pick out on the black lines a deliberate examination, not a happenstance, but a deliberate examination to form an initial theory. That's the study zero. The study one is a deliberate comparison of what actually happened against what we predicted would happen in order to learn about our theory, our process, or our system. And this study is actually known as deductive reasoning. So we've got study zero, which is inductive reasoning, and study one, which is deductive reasoning. It will all hopefully come clear in a little while. But the whole cycle, the plan, do, study, act, starting with study zero, act, plan, do, study, act, and around and around and around, is a systematic process for gaining valuable learning and knowledge for continuing improvement of a product, improvement of a process, or improvement of a service.